Here we go. Heavyweight division. Sergei Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik at UFC Saudi Arabia. This is the full fight reaction. We are with you until this fight is complete. And here we go. The fight is on. Both guys walking forward, no touch of gloves. And Rozenstruik lands the first jab to start the fight. Pavlovich number 4, Rozenstruik number 9. And Pav, one of those guys that's on the upper tier of the heavyweight division. Rozenstruik trying to get back. And again, he's number 9, right? You get a win here, you jump right back into the top 5. And Rozenstruik is very capable of doing so. Make no mistake about it. Great night of action so far. We've had I think 3 straight decisions, but you had about 3 KOs in the prelims. We'll look at some of those reactions here after this fight during the break. But for now, we can't even turn our head for a second. I mean, it's the heavyweight division. Anything can happen. One punch finishes it. And Rozenstruik flat-footed. Pavlovich bouncing around a little bit. And he lands a big right. And that definitely woke Rozenstruik up for sure. And it's amazing when you see all these other fights, bantamweight, lightweight, featherweight, and then all of a sudden the heavyweights get in and it's like, oh my goodness. Boom. Okay, Pav. And that's something to me that Rozenstruik's got to get better at. He's got to be able to move a little more. He looks too heavy on his feet. And at any time he could finish the fight too, but it just seems to me that Pavlovich looks like he's more in control. I mean, he's keeping his head off the center line. He's moving up, moving down, sliding left and right. And so far keeping Rozenstruik off balance 2 minutes into this fight. And another jab there by Pavlovich. And certainly these two are feeling each other out in round 1, halfway through. Ooh, another big right by Pavlovich. Look out. And Rozenstruik just takes it. By the way Pavlovich is moving, he definitely respects the power of Rozenstruik. I mean, he's trying to get in and get out. He's trying to consistently move left to right. And it's making it very difficult for Rozenstruik to land a big punch, at least so far. Of course, we got 15 minutes here potentially. No real favorite here for the Saudi Arabian crowd. I mean, it's Russia or Suriname. Ooh, another big right by Pavlovich. Getting the attention of Rozenstruik. And both guys locked in. Close quarters. But Rozenstruik just can't get anything going. I mean, it's 7-1 in head strikes so far. And Rozenstruik goes to his back, and this is not where you want to be against Pavlovich. Pavlovich on top, pounding away with the right. Rozenstruik pulling him down to prevent him from posturing up. Pavlovich in a side mount right now. Or side control for that matter. Trying to pin the left arm down of Rozenstruik. And he lands another big right. Now a hammer. 35 seconds left in round 1. You can hear by the roars of the crowd, they're certainly anxious for a finish one way or the other. And you would expect it in a heavyweight division. As we move forward, 2 big fights coming up. Shara Magomedov versus MVP. And then, of course, middleweight division, Adesanya versus Mavov, 2 top 5 guys looking to get into title contention. And that'll do it for round 1. So kind of a slow pace first round, just 10-7 in significant strikes. For Pavlovich, total strikes 32-27, so big difference there. But where it's at is in control time, right around 1.5, 2 minutes. And especially the difference in round 1, head strikes 8-1. So Pavlovich having his way, just taking Rozenstruik out of this fight so far. Remember, he's 18-3 coming in, number 4, Rozenstruik, number 9, 15-5. Certainly wins. He's got a 75% win percentage and wins most of the time, but has been defeated against some good fighters like Francis Ngannou in the past. He had that big KO finish against Alistair Overeem a few years ago, the latest finish in heavyweight history with like 3 or 4 seconds left. And that was a 5-rounder. Those guys went toe-to-toe for the entire fight. Get involved in the chat. We will read those during the fight, between fights, whenever we can get to it. Let us know who you like here, Pavlovich or Rozenstruik, to get the win. Also weigh in on the co-main event and main event as we're quickly approaching that. I mean, it's a heavyweight division fight, so 1 strike can end the fight. Round 2 underway. And Rozenstruik almost fights like a kickboxer, right? I mean, he's flat-footed, doesn't really utilize the leg kick real well, but looks like a kickboxer in his stance. Pavlovich, again, bouncing. You know, he's constantly got the arms moving, and he's just doing a good job of keeping Rozenstruik off balance, not allowing him to land combinations or get any type of momentum. And Pavlovich can do this for 3 straight rounds. Pavlovich up 1-0 right now for sure. Let's go, Pav. Land it, baby. Land it. Let's go. Boom. Takes a left, lands a left. And Rozenstruik's got to get more aggressive. I mean, he's got to get into this fight, because if this continues like this, Pavlovich is just going to win an easy decision. And you should start to see him force himself as time goes on, as he's already looking to get more aggressive, but also at the same time, your opponent can land a KO too. So you got to be careful. But you just can't go down with time ticking. And that's the way it appears right now for Rozenstruik. Every once in a while, Pavlovich lands a big right hand and then just resets. Oh! Big left by Rozenstruik. Too bad he was backpedaling at the time. 2 minutes gone, round 2. This fight's playing right into Pavlovich's hands. No need to be too aggressive, although Rozenstruik's looking a little better in this round. When I say a little better, he's just leading in significant strikes, but it's like 5-4. It's not that big. Plenty of time left in this round. A big right flattens Rozenstruik as he gets up and he gets taken down again. And this is not where you want to be, with Pavlovich inside control once again. And that gives Pavlovich the edge in this round as well. And Rozenstruik has got to find a way to get back to his feet. Easier said than done. Sergei will be content with keeping the fight here the rest of this round. 150 left in the round. Rozenstruik on his back. He's got a half guard in. Crowd beginning to chant. They want to see a finish. Not much happening on the ground. Both guys jockeying for position. And Rozenstruik is showing no will to get back to his feet, right? I mean, when Pavlovich gets you down here, he's so good at the side control, potentially can get to a full mount. And we're getting a replay at this right hand. He ducks the right of Rozenstruik, who's off balance, and beam catches him. Yeah. And even though we're not seeing much here in terms of activity, that one right is enough to land the knockdown and potentially win this round for Sergei Pavlovich. Nice left by Pav, another one. All partially blocked. But listen, even when you're not doing a lot, you got your opponent on his back. You landed the knockdown punch. You're over 3 minutes of ground control time. And it's just so far a dominant performance for Pavlovich. And another left here near the end of the round, final seconds. And that'll do it. And things are close. I mean, significant strikes 13-13, head strikes 11-5 for Pavlovich, but it's total strikes, which is really the big difference, 82-13. And then you factor in the ground control time, 328-0 on one takedown. I mean, Sergei is certainly leading this fight 2-0, and Rozenstruik is going to have to do it again by finishing this fight in the third round, which he's very capable of. But you got to be careful of going for it and giving up a takedown because he's shown no ability to get off his back once Sergei gets on top. And in recent weeks, we've seen just because it's a heavyweight fight does not mean the fight's going to be finished. I mean, these guys are getting better. Obviously, the big guys are getting better at grappling, ground control time, takedowns. All those things can stifle your opponent, which is why everyone's excited about Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. I mean, Aspinall's a big heavyweight, a true heavyweight. Could he go in there and take down John Jones? Could he land a big punch and steal the heavyweight title? That's what people are talking about and getting excited for that potential matchup of although no fight has been announced and probably won't be anytime in the near future. Round 3 is underway. Rozenstruik starts with a jab, but no movement for him. I mean, no movement at all. He's struggling to land punches. He takes a right, a little bit off balance there. Thought he was going down for a second, but seems like he just lost his footing. Yeah, Mark Smith telling guys they got to get. They're not even in the tie up. They're on their feet, and Mark Smith is saying, "We got to go. We got to go," but not in a position to break it up. Oh, Rozenstruik comes in, lands a left, takes a left. And although the ref is barking at him, Pavlovich is in no rush. I mean, it's paid off too. He's been real patient in both rounds. He's landed a big strike and then spent 3 minutes on the ground, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, of which came at the end of the round. So just not a good look for Rozenstruik. Oh, a big left by Pav. And I'll tell you, he lands another one. Rozenstruik's going down. He's looking for the takedown now, and he gets the takedown. And I'll tell you what, this might be it for Rozenstruik. There's still 320 left in this fight, but he's shown no ability to get off his back. And we'll see if there's not a lot of action, if Mark Smith will break it up. He hasn't yet, but he's already warned the guys to get going. And even watching this early, he's in side control once again. Rozenstruik on his back. He's got to show a willingness to try to get to his feet. He is up against the fence, which helps. Pavlovich pulls him right back down halfway through round 3, and this is just going to be a dominant performance for Pavlovich if this continues. You're not going to see it in significant strikes where it's very close, but again, total strikes, it's where it's at, 105 to 15. And the control time will certainly be over 5 minutes, maybe closer to 6, as he landed the takedown much earlier in this round. And all 3 rounds really the same. Pavlovich being very patient, keeping his head off the center line, waiting for the opportunity, landing a big punch, and then getting the takedown. And a win here will certainly give Pavlovich a top 3 fight next. Tom Aspinall and John Jones tied up, obviously. There's only a few options for him. Now he pins a left arm down. Rozenstruik gets it out. Pavlovich still in side control where he's remained throughout this fight when the fight is on the ground. And now over 5 minutes and 40 seconds of control time. If he keeps this up, it's going to be nearly half the fight on the ground. And just not a good look for Rozenstruik, who's shown no ability or will to get back to his feet. He's just in straight defense mode at this point. But have no fear. We got 2 big fights coming up next. I would assume one of those 2 is going to lead to a finish. Now Rozenstruik halfway to his feet, 1 knee on the ground in a lunge position. 45 seconds left. And finally, Rozenstruik stands up. But too little, too late. Mark Smith warning him once again, and Rozenstruik gets to his feet with 30 seconds left. Anything can happen here. And if you're Pavlovich, you want to back off a little bit, but he says no and lands a left and nearly drops Rozenstruik. Final 20 seconds. Rozenstruik looking tired. But here he comes. Big left. There's a tap. Final 10. Rozenstruik's got to go for it here. He's done it before. 4 seconds left. And Pavlovich is going to finish strong and easily going to get the victory here by unanimous decision. There's no way you can take this fight or steal this fight from him. And every time Rozenstruik gets near the top, he falls. That's just a fact of the matter. Sergei Pavlovich is going to win by unanimous decision easily. He's going to move to 19-3 here in the heavyweight division. And that's the way it goes down at UFC Saudi Arabia.